I have my cold weather gear on because I'm about to go out into the off-grid indigenous lands and partake in some ceremonies with the earth to honor this beautiful day that we call Thanksgiving. But before I go and do that, I wanted to hop on here and just share some ways that you can use native and indigenous practices to support your own healing journey, your spiritual evolution, and just being your best self. I was inspired to share these methods because I have a TikTok, which is like, that's so weird that I have a TikTok, but you can definitely find me on there. Sometimes I see things on TikTok that really just make me laugh and they inspire me to share more information about like the truth of indigenous practices. So I saw this super funny TikTok of a girl saying that whenever she feels depressed, she just puts on some sparkly eyeliner and the depression just literally goes away. And I personally just started laughing so hard when I saw this because I immediately realized that we all have different flavors of depression, different flavors of you can call it depression, you can call it separation, you can call it being in a bad mood, feeling very, very low. Some people who experience depression don't want to call it being in a bad mood or things like that. But for the sake of this conversation, we are going to just use that type of language because whether you are experiencing a deep chemical imbalance within your neural pathways and your brain, or if you are experiencing just having a bad day, having some low hormones, feeling a little bit more anxious or stressed or whatever it is, the remedies that I'm going to be sharing with you that can help you actually can help you no matter what degree of separation and darkness that you're currently feeling. But for myself, and maybe if that glitter eyeliner trick works for you, definitely not hating on glitter eyeliner, like you wear your glitter eyeliner. But I know that for so many of the people that I work with, everyone, all the thousands of people I've ever worked with, as well as myself, glitter eyeliner is just not enough to take us out of a bad mood, to take us into a different part of our mind or part of our soul evolution. So if you're feeling really, really negative, if you're feeling drained, not energized, I just posted a video about overthinking and just having so much on your mind. So if you're feeling any of these feelings, these are 3 indigenous practices that you can do that is not only going to help you feel better. This is not a placebo. These are scientifically proven to actually literally like affect you on a cellular level, and you can observe the energetic differences before and after doing these practices. This is scientifically proven. These practices are often used in hospitals and in and in medical research all over the world right now. They're being used by Yale, Harvard. If you are really, really sick, or if you are wanting to improve yourself or evolve in any way, these are the things that are being used. And of course, there are practices out there that are considered to be placebos, but the effectiveness of this practice is so incredible, and I'm excited to share it with you. So the first practice that we're going to be using, if you're feeling insane overwhelmed, like let's say you just got dumped, let's say you just lost your job, let's say you're at a family event right now and you just get so triggered, like someone just said the one thing to you that you wanted for no one to ever say to you again for the rest of your life, or like brought up a recent breakup or a recent mistake that you made, or like maybe even something that you did when you were little that was just so embarrassing. Like those are these moments that you're going to use this practice when you feel like you're at your wit's end, sorry language, or if you're feeling like you are experiencing almost like an existential crisis, or like, whoa, like I'm completely spun around in my mind and I need to just come back to myself. So what you're going to do is you're going to go outside and you're going to lay face down on the earth. I know it sounds crazy, but what you want to do is you want to make sure that your belly button is able to touch the earth. And if it's really, really cold where you live, if it is snowing, your belly button skin doesn't have to touch the earth itself, but you're just going to mentally imagine that your belly button is connecting with the earth, even if there's snow on the ground, even if you're wearing a jacket or anything like that. So you're gonna lay here face down, belly button to the earth for at least 5 whole minutes. And as you're laying here, what you're going to do is you're going to imagine your belly button area connecting to the core of the earth, going all the way down into the earth. And what this does, it's so healthy for your mind, for your body, and for your soul, because you are basically visualizing like an umbilical cord connection between yourself and the earth, which is the planet or the environment that soothes your soul. So as you feel more and more connected to the earth, your body will start to receive these like really peaceful and calming sensations and feelings. And you can also imagine all of that darkness, all of that negativity or energetic debris literally just melting off of you into the earth, where it can be transmuted back into its original state of love. So you can kind of even think of your thoughts going into the earth, decaying into the earth, and coming back into your body as energy, as peace, as inspiration, motivation, enthusiasm. All of these feelings are high vibrational feelings that are yours to receive. So you don't need to be stuck in your negative moods or be stuck in your negative feelings. And it's up to you to decide that you are worth feeling better and that you are going to go outside and do something about it for 5 whole minutes so that you can be the person that you are meant to be, and so that your behaviors and everything that you do moving forward is even is even more in alignment with who you are and who you want to be and who you see yourself as in your life. You do not have to go through life pretending that you're not in a bad mood or that you're not experiencing this darkness. There are actual practices like this that can really, really support you. I'm going to share with you 2 other practices that I really like, but I know that I didn't talk too much about like the scientific benefits of this umbilical cord practice, but when you try it, you will see just how incredible it is. Your body is able to soak up the negative ions from the earth, and this is literally like a vitamin for your brain, for your soul. Mindset work does not work if you're just trying to like think in a different way. You need to have these practices that actually help rewire your neural pathways, promote neuroplasticity, and help you let go of this old energy or old versions of yourself so that you can launch forward. So another way to do that if you're feeling really bogged down for whatever reason is by doing a torus activation. The torus this is a word that is fire words so hard for me. I've been teaching all morning already, so I think that my voice is just like ready for some telepathic communication, and maybe we'll get into that a little bit on this call, but we'll try to stick to words up until then. So your torus is defined as all of your energy bodies combined. So your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body, your cosmic body, like you have so many different energy bodies, and your torus is a word that kind of encompasses all of those energy bodies. So when we're talking about the aura, that is another way of talking about the torus. Some people, like myself, are able to see auras or see toruses very, very clearly with their naked eye. And anyone can do this. This doesn't make you like a special person or anything like that. All you have to do is do a third eye activation. Every single human on this planet is able to see energy or to be able to read and feel energy, and we all do already. And so doing third eye activations or doing different activations can help promote those abilities. And what is so valuable about being able to see your torus or see your energy, whether you see it, feel it, whatever it is that you can feel if there's holes in your energy. Let's say you go grocery shopping and someone says something so triggering and you're like, I'm in a grocery store and I'm just like so triggered right now. What do I do? Or let's say that you're in a place that you're feeling like you were feeling good in one situation and you're not feeling good in the next situation. This is an indicator of a hole in your torus or a hole in your aura. And one of the ways that we can patch up the holes in our torus and aura is by filling ourselves with cosmic energy or with earth energy. This is our universal energy that protects us from energetic attacks. It protects us from being triggered. When we are triggered in this level of protection and harmony with all of the universe, then we're able to immediately learn the lessons from that trigger and just move on without being negatively impacted by that trigger. So it's really, really important to not just take like a daily multivitamin, but to do things every single day that restore your Taurus, that make it so your aura and your Taurus are operating at their highest level of health and are protecting you and are in alignment with your potential and your desires and things like that. So I know this is a lot to think about, but one of the ways that you're going to do this is by dancing. I know it sounds so crazy, but the more that you actually reach into all the parts of your Taurus moves about your body in the 3D. So it is above you, it is below you, it is in front of you, it is behind you. And the more you're able to move your body parts throughout your own energy field and feel the edges of your energy field, as well as move this old energy through, pushing this energy out of your energy field, you're actually restoring your Taurus. So this is why I promote movement meditation as opposed to just sitting meditation. I personally would feel so uncomfortable waking up first thing in the morning and sitting down for an hour and just being in the mind, especially because so much of our modern world requires the mind and requires so much thoughts. So it can be really, really valuable to give yourself a rest from being in the mind and to come back into being in the heart, to come back into your movement, to restore your energy levels, to restore your mental clarity by just doing the things that you want to do. There's no right or wrong way to dance. As long as you're moving throughout your Taurus field, you are adding source energy, you're adding angelic frequencies and all of the goodness into your own aura. So making time to dance every single day isn't about having a dancing personality or being a good dancer. It's about honoring yourself. It's about showing up for yourself. And I cannot recommend daily dance enough for women, especially dance like twerking. I'm not really like a sexual dancer when it comes to the public dancing. I know that there's like fitness pole classes and things like that. And for me personally, I don't even want anyone to see me dancing like that because it goes against my beliefs about modesty and alignment in what is for me personally. So if you are that same way, I know like my sisters, for example, are religious. They would never ever be twerking in public or on video or doing like belly dancing or things of that nature. But finding all female environments where you can be safe to fully dance and fully let loose and be your goofy, wacko, weirdo self, it can be so, so valuable to you. Dancing sexually is actually something that can release any tension from your mind, from your body, from your soul. And our hips are actually where our childhood memories, our shame, our guilt, and all of that negative energy is stored. So as you're moving through your Taurus, you also should be moving those hips. You can be doing hip circles, you can be doing sexual movements, and it doesn't have to be sexual, right? These hip movements are actually movements that can release old energetic baggage, old emotional baggage from our mind and from our body. So I strongly encourage you to lean into your sexuality. It does not have to be for the public. It does not have to be for anyone else other than yourself. But for the women who do have the confidence and the courage to wake up every day and freaking twerk upside down or like do a sexy dance like that in the privacy of their own home and their own space. Bonus points if you do it naked in front of the mirror. Like, do a striptease for yourself. Those are the women that are truly going out into the world and making the world a better place. And they don't often talk about this the same way that we don't talk about like going to the bathroom in the morning. Let's say you go to work, you're like, hey, how are you? Someone's not going to tell you how they went to the bathroom in the morning. They're not going to tell you about their sexy dance that they just did. But you might notice that the women who are feeling super safe and healthy and like women that you want to be around If you ask them and if you get to know them really, really well, what are those secret practices that you're doing that are helping you show up as the best version of yourself? They're going to share practices with you that do support their mind, body, and soul. Whether you have the awareness of the Taurus activation or your connection to the earth or not, you can still gain the benefits of this. I know for my religion, personally, like, we didn't talk about the science of these practices. We don't talk about the Taurus field, but these practices are shared within the religion that I was raised in. I now consider myself to be, I think it's called like pantheist or omni-religious, because I really resonate with every single religion that I've studied throughout this universe, which is so amazing. But there's so many different schools of thought, philosophies that promote these practices, but maybe don't share with you what you're actually doing, how you're actually rewiring the mind or promoting your own progress within yourself, but you still are. So even if you don't understand how dance is so healthy for you, dance can truly take you through a whole entire spiritual awakening and into the best version of yourself, which is so beautiful. Now, oops, I have like the hiccups all of a sudden. I have a third ancient indigenous practice that can instantly clear your mind and support you in feeling like the best version of yourself. I strongly recommend this if you are experiencing a lot of impulses, if you are going through a shedding process, maybe you're going through a breakup, a divorce, a career change, maybe you are just on a self-growth journey through life, so you're constantly going through a shedding process. Whatever it is for you, you need to be using this practice. And this practice is using water magic. So as we know from Dr. Emoto, you can talk to water and it will change its structure. You can sing to water and put it in the freezer and take it out and it will be the most beautiful crystal. But if you bully that same exact water and put it in the freezer, take it out, it is not going to be that beautiful crystal. So I love to study water magic and water sciences because humans are 70% water. Our earth is a majority water. And so the more that we can work with this element, I'm also a Pisces, so like maybe that's part of just my soul mission is to share how you can work with water. But the more you can work with this element, the more you can feel at home on this planet, at home in your body, and at home in your own thoughts and in your own mind. There's so many ways to work with the element of water to cleanse yourself from negative thoughts, from the past, or from whatever it could be. One of my favorite practices in using water is taking 5 showers a day. I know that sounds so crazy, and for people who are trying to conserve water, I know that might not really be in alignment with you. So there's lots of different ways. There's literally millions of ways that you can practice water magic, but this is one of the ways that I've really been enjoying lately. So if you are someone who sees clients throughout the day, or if you are someone who is doing a lot, maybe you're a professional artist and you're painting throughout the day, maybe you are thinking about a lot of things, maybe you're a lawyer and you have a lot of like difficult thoughts to go through on a day-to-day basis, you might notice that you gain a complete refresh from just rinsing off in the shower. And what is happening here is that the water is cleaning your Taurus, it's cleaning your aura and your energetic field. And just standing there in the shower and allowing your energetic field to be cleansed, it can support you in feeling your own unique embodied energy. So we're constantly picking up energies from the people around us. We're generating energies by having an overthinking mind that is just constantly thinking. Telling a human not to think is kind of like telling a fish not to swim. It is absolutely impossible. So due to all the things that we are, how do we feel like the best versions of ourselves? Water is one of those things that can really deeply support you. I work from home, and so if I were to see 5 clients in a day, I probably would take a little shower in between each client. Another way to cleanse the energy, if you're not a big water person, is by going outside, walking barefoot in the earth, doing your belly button to the earth practice that we talked about earlier. But back to water, because it is so, so valuable. When you're doing your energy cleansing showers, you want to be talking to your water. This is the best place to be saying your affirmations, to be reminding yourself that you are like water. You have the ability to flow from thing to thing, to take different forms, to be connected to yourself, to be separated from yourself, and all of it can be absolutely divine. The more that you meditate with water, the more that you can talk to the water to share your personal energetic imprint on this water and acknowledge that this water has been here since the beginning of Earth. This water has been drank in and worshipped by our ancestors, by every animal who has ever walked before us and contributed to who we are today. So allowing yourself to not take advantage of the water that you have around you and to really use it to be the best version of yourself, it can completely elevate your life. And I think that so often people who do these practices don't even talk about them too much. Like, I'm thinking about all of my friends that do moon water rituals, and we all really practice water magic all the time. I don't think I could ever drink water without praying into my water, without asking my water for something really, really specific. And like we've proven with Dr. Emoto, this is not a placebo effect. Water magic is very, very much real. So we are constantly practicing water magic. Once you kind of get into it, you're into it, and you can find more and more ways to use water magic to align yourself with your true self, to instantly let go of those triggers, let go of those overthinking thoughts with just a sip of water. So I encourage you to just get curious about ways to use water magic. Some people are into moon water, charging their water under certain astrological events and then drinking the water so that they can hone more in on the energy of those planets. There's so many different ways that you can use water magic to really feel like the best version of yourself. And I know that all of this sounds super out there, so let's just break it down into some methods that can be really, really tangible for you. Let's say that you're feeling very drained and you are feeling super, super tired. Something that you can do is pour yourself a glass of water, hold the water in front of you, hold it in your heart field. Every single chakra has its own kind of auric field. So your heart has a field that extends in front of you and behind you. So you're going to hold the water in this heart field with your heart frequency, not your head frequency. In our modern society, we are so too far into the head and we need to get more into the heart. So the more we can get into the heart, the better our mind is going to feel. Once you're holding the water in this heart frequency, you're going to close your eyes and you're going to imagine yourself sending into this water everything it is that you need. Maybe it's a little bit more energy. Maybe it's willingness to do the dishes. Maybe it's enjoyment while you do your laundry, or peace while you have this conversation with a loved one. Maybe you are setting an intention for not fighting with someone today and having healthy connection and conscious conversation and communication with that person. Whatever it is, you're going to put all of that into the water and imagine that the water starts to glow as you do this. Then you're going to take a sip of this imaginative glowing water and allow your body to receive all of these intentions, affirmations, and prayers. This is one of the ways that quantum healing can really change our lives, and it is so subtle. No one has to know that you're praying into your water. No one has to know that you are feeling super drained or whatever it could be. Of course, there's sacred rage and there's all of these practices that are so external and so out there and performative and expressive, and it's so, so valuable to do those practices too. But you also can have practices throughout the day that are just like little pick-me-ups, little renewals, little ways of rebirthing and restoring your energy throughout the day so that you can feel like the absolute best version of you. And this is one of the ways that I snap out of bad moods. I will not stay in a bad mood for a whole entire day. Can't remember the last time that I did that, or even for multiple days. I even was in a really large, stressful situation about a year ago that probably would have kept me stressed for like up until this point, honestly, in a bad mood up until this point, etc., etc. But the more that you use these practices, every time that you start to feel even just a tinge of negativity, a tinge of insecurity or imposter syndrome or resentment, the more that you're able to literally transcend those bad moods instantaneously. So now I'm able to navigate life so much better. I'm able to manage my stress better, and I'm able to accomplish way more in my life. Most of my clients say this too. They say that working with these practices allows them to be so much more productive because you don't even realize how much mental weight you're carrying throughout your day. And oftentimes you don't realize it, and it will come out in the form of impulses. It will come out in the form of like lashing out at someone or lashing out at yourself, or noticing that like you're having really insecure thoughts all of a sudden, and you're like, wait a second, where did this even come from? So if you are on this self-growth and healing journey, I want to share with you a practice that one of my shamans shared with me that completely supported me and completely changed my life. And that practice is the idea of every time that you're feeling negatively, stop what you're doing, take a second, and identify where this negative feeling originated from. Did you just go to a gas station, and upon walking out of that gas station, you're just feeling a lot more negative? Maybe there's an energy in that gas station. Maybe someone was throwing energy at you in the gas station, or maybe there's just like a vortex in that gas station that kind of brought your frequency down a little bit. The more that you can identify the specific phrases that are triggering to you, the specific behaviors or actions or whatever it could be that are triggering you to drop your frequency, the more you can learn about the world and yourself and how to raise your frequency. So you don't need to be aware of what is lowering your vibration. You can just go do any of the practices that we talked about today and increase your vibration. But as you're in this journey of constantly increasing your vibration, you will have the capacity, the strength, and the awareness to be able to identify what is it that keeps lowering my vibration. This is what we call shadow work. And so often people go into the shadow work first without going into the light work. If you don't know how to raise your vibration, yes, like imagine being in the messiest possible room and being like, it's messy. Like, yes, it is messy. You need to start cleaning up this room if you want to find a system of cleaning that really, really works for you. It's not going to be effective to just identify how messy and uncomfortable this room is while it's still messy and uncomfortable. So it can really, really help you to start to clean your energy field, to start to clean your aura. And from there, you're going to see like, oh, wait, every time in this room, like a pile always forms in this area. What's going on in this area? Oh, that's my childhood trauma. That's my relationship trauma. Those are my attachment wounds. And you can more deeply understand yourself. Maybe your vibration gets knocked or spun around every time somebody comments on your appearance or says something misogynistic to you, or you can notice all of these patterns. Maybe thinking about dieting is the thing that makes you feel like, ugh, tight, small, dim, dull, like all of the negative feelings. Whatever it is completely divine and completely valid. There's nothing wrong with that thing, but we can elevate your relationship to that thing. Changing your relationship with your own environment, with your own world, really comes down to being able to meet your own needs, nurturing yourself. And that's not getting yourself food, water, and shelter, because we now know that even a baby, even a child has way more needs than that. You can create serious permanent damage to a baby by not picking it up. So being picked up, having eye contact, being hugged, being complimented, being loved, knowing that you're valued, having someone on this planet know who you are, these are all some of our needs. And when we are struggling so much to just meet our own need of feeling like ourselves and feeling okay, it can be hard to meet all of those other needs. So I encourage you to get uncomfortable, to actually get out there on the earth to do these exercises that maybe we don't see people doing all the time in our modern society or in cities or whatever it is. I remember I used to do Kundalini like in a city, and it was truly the the most interesting experience to be a pattern disruptor in people's everyday work days as they're just like walking by and I'm doing ancient chanting and light codes and light language. So yeah, it's so funny, but I want you to know that it's not weird to show up for yourself. It's not weird to do the things that you need to do to be the best version of you. And anyone who's judging you, like, they probably need to do those things as well. So give yourself the permission, give yourself the courage, the bravery, and the confidence to do some of these practices that maybe aren't so trendy and aren't so mainstream, but can help you support yourself and maybe even like create new trends on earth that are even more conscious and even more awakened and even more amazing. So I'm so happy that I got to share these ancient indigenous practices with you. This has been such a joy for me, and I really appreciate you for taking the time to spend this time together, to spend this time finding ways that you can really be the best version of you. And yes, we are hacking the system. It's kind of like hacking a computer game or hacking I don't even know, like, you know, when we were really little, maybe you guys don't remember this, but like in the 90s, you could get these like computer game codes that would allow you to get to the next level even faster, or to beat the level that you're on, or suddenly you could like double your points or something just instantaneously with these computer game codes. And ancient indigenous practices are like those computer game codes. They have helped people like ourselves since the beginning of human evolution. That is what when they evolved, they've evolved with us throughout this whole entire time. So it's such an honor to be able to share these practices with you, and it is so inspiring for me because I feel like the whole world would just be a better place if we all knew how to do our water cleanses and our Taurus activations. People wouldn't be fighting, we wouldn't have divorce, we wouldn't have chronic illness. All of these issues that we have all the time just would not exist. So thank you so much for being a part of the change that we wish to see in the world, being a part of the peace and the progress that we're creating here all together. And I really appreciate you. I'm sending you love, blessings, wisdom, clarity, insights, inspiration, and anything that you could possibly need in your spiritual evolution, because we are all in this together. And when one of us rises, we all rise. So thank you for rising with me. I'll see you guys next time.